Call of Duty released a new cinematic today about Verdansk returning to Warzone in celebration of Warzone's 5th anniversary, and we got a ton of new information and new details about what's coming back, as was confirmed in the new Verdansk trailer. We knew some of these things prior to the new trailer because of leaks and rumors, of course, but there are also some newer details and confirmed details that I wanted to cover in today's video. Verdansk is coming back with Season 3 of Warzone, and that's going to launch on April 3rd, and that's also the same date that Black Ops 6 Season 3 is launching. If you actually go into Warzone, you can now see that there's a timer in the game that shows you precisely when Verdansk is going to be back. The new trailer that revealed the Verdansk return was posted to Call of Duty's official Twitter, or at least that's where I first saw it, and it showcases just a cinematic of some operators from Modern Warfare and Black Ops 6 and more, including Domino and the Ranger and things like that as they drop into Verdansk. But the trailer also revealed some important details, like the weapons that are going to be back and things like that in Warzone. Even though I'm not a huge Warzone player, I 100% will be trying out Verdansk when it comes back, and I'll probably play more Warzone with Verdansk returning. I remember Verdansk just being a better map overall from what I played back in the original Warzone, so I'm personally glad that it's back because it'll actually give me a reason to play Warzone, and I honestly really would like to see what sort of changes were made and what fixes were implemented in Warzone this time around, because as we know, they did take all of Season 2 basically off for Season 3 and the Verdansk release. Now, it's not currently clear how this new Verdansk is going to be like, and if it's going to be a one-to-one copy of the original Verdansk, or if it will have some changes. Leaker the Ghost of Hope on Twitter basically said that it'll be pretty much the same version as the one that we had back in 2020, but there are going to be a few differences here and there. For instance, the train is coming back, but the stadium's interior is going to be inaccessible and the roof will be closed. Charlie Intel reported that some content creators played a version of the map where the roof was closed but the interior was still accessible, so we'll have to see what Activision decides to give us. I'm sure it's going to be based off of some feedback from content creators and things like that. From what we saw in the new trailer, it does look like the roof is indeed closed, but it's not clear if the interior is accessible or not. We didn't really get to see that in the trailer. The train is probably going to be coming back, but the station POI interior will be closed, and it looks like the fast travel subway system is not going to return. However, there are currently plans for the red doors to return to Verdansk in a future Warzone season, according to some leaks. There was also a previous leak regarding Verdansk that basically stated that the Black Ops 3 Fringe map would be featured in Verdansk, but the Ghost of Hope said that it's probably not true after all, and that it was either some sort of DLC thing, it was scrapped, or it was a miscommunication from his source. Now, along with Verdansk, the old Gulag seems to be back as well, as we can see in this frame from the trailer, and it also looks like there's not going to be any more water combat and swimming in Verdansk. According to the Ghost of Hope as well, it looks like with this Verdansk release, they will not be adding water, so it seems like the water combat and things like that just weren't very popular, and they won't be implementing those things into Verdansk, which is totally fine. I wasn't personally a huge fan of water combat myself. They introduced the water stuff with Modern Warfare 2, and Al Mazrah had some water, but then Ashika Island had a lot more, and it would essentially become an issue because the only weapons that could work underwater were pistols, and if you were in the final circle with just water, it was annoying because if you didn't have a pistol, you were basically screwed. Now, they did try to fix that back in 2023 by giving everyone a dedicated pistol slot, but the water combat was of course still irritating either way. It just wasn't a very popular addition. Now, that's not to say that they won't be adding water combat later on in the future, but from what it seems so far, there's probably not going to be any of that with the Verdansk launch. It also looks like we're going to be seeing bunkers in Warzone again, because if you look pretty early on in the cinematic trailer, there's a number sequence written here, and this was a former bunker code for Warzone, so it seems like that mechanic is going to be back as well. Vehicle-wise, we did see the Black Ops 6 Hummer, which some people weren't super happy about. Of course, a lot of people preferred the ground vehicles from Warzone 1, but at the end of the day, we are still in Warzone 2, so the Black Ops 6 integration still exists. But anyways, from the trailer though, we might be seeing the Little Bird helicopter make a comeback in Warzone. As we knew from some of the leaks prior, there are going to be returning operators and returning weapons from the first iteration of Warzone, and from the trailer we saw today, we got some confirmation on those things already. So, the Kilo 141 is officially confirmed to be coming with Verdansk in Season 3. We also saw the HDR sniper rifle make a comeback, so that's also been officially confirmed. We did see the CR56 AMAX in the recent trailers that were posted by Call of Duty. Now, so far, it's not clear whether or not the Grau 5.56 is going to be making a comeback, as we didn't see in any of the media so far, but they can always reveal it later on down the line. Some leaks did say the Grau would probably be coming back, but not at the Season 3 launch, either with Season 3 Reloaded or with Season 4. So we probably won't be getting it at launch, which is alright, I guess. Waiting sucks, but they probably don't just want to drop everything at one time. We've also known for some time from some of the other leaks that we'd be getting some returning operators from the older Modern Warfare games, and we saw at least one of those in the new trailer, which is Domino, who was in Modern Warfare 2019. We also know from some leaks that the original Rose might be making a comeback based off of some data mines, and possibly even Mace. Hudson from Cold War is also rumored to be returning as well. In terms of the map, it looks like Verdansk won't be staying in the exact same state the entire time, and instead, as the seasons progress, Verdansk will probably be getting some updates here and there, so it won't be the 2020 version the entire time. This may or may not be a good thing depending on how you feel about it, but I do think that having some changes will continue keeping the game feeling fresh, at least so that we don't just get bored of it super quickly, but I am hoping that these changes don't fundamentally change anything with the map or anything like that. There are some leaks that suggest that Resurgence is going to be coming to Verdansk when it returns, but it's not clear if this is going to be for small sections or if it will be a massive Resurgence with 150 players and the full map. Now, I've seen a lot of different reactions. For the most part, there's a ton of excitement and hype, which is usually what you see with announcements like this. Some people who hate Warzone aren't happy, but they already hate Warzone, so that's kind of expected. But there's also people who are concerned that Activision is relying too much on basically just nostalgia, and that they're not going to address the underlying issues that are happening in Warzone, like cheating, bugs, the movement, and things like that. The trailer also seemed to showcase more realistic military-based skins and operators than what we've been seeing so far, but I'm not sure if it's just because it's a trailer, if that's just a marketing decision, or if that indicates that Season 3's tone is going to be on the more realistic side. Of course, there's going to be skin bundles in the shop, but maybe the Battle Pass this time is going to have a more milsim approach this time around because of the Verdansk return. Season 2's Battle Pass had some pretty solid skins if you're more of a fan of that milsim side of looks, but we'll see what they do for Season 3. It's just funny to me how the Battle Pass is the same across both Black Ops 6, and we'll be seeing Modern Warfare operators likely in the Battle Pass, and because of the integration, you're going to be playing those in Black Ops as well. It's just a little funny. Ultimately, we can't really tell what sort of state Warzone is going to be in on April 3rd, and if these underlying problems are being addressed or not. What I can say is that I did notice that connection has gotten significantly better since the game launched, and I'm personally not having as many problems there, whereas I was having a lot of issues, and it was basically just the servers because my internet was operating perfectly fine. Cheating wise, I can't comment on much. I haven't noticed any more cheating than I did before, but I'll have to hop into a couple more Warzone matches to really get a solid opinion there. I do know that Activision has been sending out a lot of cease and desists lately, that they did say that Ricochet was going to be pushing an update with Season 3 and that they weren't really going to reveal anything before Season 3, but I don't really know what they're doing in that department. But anyways, if you asked me personally, I am actually pretty excited to see what Verdansk is gonna be like. I may end up being disappointed, I may end up being neutral, or just as excited as I am now, but I'm not gonna go into this being pessimistic because I think there might genuinely be a good amount of fun to revisit Verdansk and get a chance to play with some of the old weapons and things like that. Personally, I've never really been vehemently or staunchly against Warzone. I never had that idea that it just destroyed the multiplayer. Do I think that there are some things in Call of Duty that fundamentally changed because of Warzone? Yes, but I never hated Warzone, so to speak. I think though that the biggest issue that Warzone is facing is just the integration system. I think that that's also affecting the multiplayer. So with the games that released after Modern Warfare 2019, everything just started getting integrated into Warzone. I do believe personally though that Warzone should have remained a separate game with its own engine, its own work and everything, or at least just keep it stuck to Modern Warfare 2019 and not integrate every other other game afterwards. Integrating it with the other games was an issue because it changed a ton of the stuff like the movement and the gunplay, and to readjust each time a new Call of Duty game comes out isn't a super great idea. Because people were saying, oh, they like the movement, but then Black Ops 6's integration with Omni movement fundamentally changed the way Warzone was played. So I understand the concept of the integration, but I do think that Warzone would have remained in a significantly better state if it wasn't integrated with so many other games. I also don't even want to imagine what the code looks like for this whole thing. Anyways though, I've heard some leakers say that Season 3 is going to be a good one, so maybe it will be. We'll just have to wait and see. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and turn on notifications set to all so you can stay up to date with all the latest content. Comment below what you think about the Verdansk return, if you're excited, and if you'll be playing Warzone once it drops. Don't forget to share this video as well, and that's all for today, folks.